All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 764 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. You can go ahead and clip this. Get me on record. I love our new coordinators for the Atlanta Falcons. Offensive coordinator Zach Robinson, defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake. I am sold. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sold. Clip it. Put me on cold takes. I don't care. I will go down with the ship on this one. I like what I hear from these guys. I like what Raheem Morris have done, and I'm on board. So we're going to talk about this because these guys had a press conference today with the media, and I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions on this. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you want to watch the show, it is on Spotify and Rumble. If you want to watch, if you want to listen to the show, you can listen at your leisure on any of the platforms, but just the audio side is on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. I also can be found on X at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. If you want to support the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. I really would appreciate it. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, once again, I am sold. I want to see these guys do great. I think they're going to do great. I am on the bandwagon. I am good. I want to see these guys do great. The things that they said, I listened to these guys on Dukes and Bell, and I did my last episode based on them talking on Dukes and Bell. There were short conversations. It wasn't that long, but then again, the Atlanta Falcons, website, or I think it was on the YouTube channel, they turn right back around and give them a 50-minute, press conference. It was kind of cut up probably like, what it was, like 20 minutes a piece or something like that, with the special teams coordinator and these two guys, Zach Robinson and Jimmy Lake. And they said some great things, especially what I like what I heard from Jimmy Lake. Jimmy Lake said, look, I feel like I was born to be a defensive coordinator. And people asked him about the head coaching thing. He's like, no, I like to coach the defensive side of the ball. I want to. Now, with that being said, I like this honor that we may have a keeper right there. We don't have to worry about nobody poaching him. I'm not sure, because if the price is right, he may take off. But what I'm saying is we may have somebody who wants to be for the long run. And Zach Robinson, I mean, he's getting a chance to be an OC, and what he's bringing to the table, I think it's going to kind of disappoint some people, but it's a winning formula, so you can't knock it. Not saying that he said anything bad. It's just that I know what the Falcon fan base want. They want that athletic, dynamic quarterback, but I think Zach Robinson wants a pocket passer. Not saying that this will happen in the draft, but everything is pointing towards a pocket passer. You look at the people he's been around. He's been around Matthew Stafford, he's been around Baker Mayfield, he's been around Jared Goff, and they had success. I mean, it's hard to deny. I mean, not so much of Baker Mayfield, but it's hard to deny. You get to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and you turn right back around and get to the Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. It's hard to deny, like, hey, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, he knows what he's doing. So with that being said, I like it because it's a winning formula. I like the offensive packages that they're going to be bringing. I love all of that. It sounds good, and I'm here for it. The defensive side is what I'm more intrigued with. I am more intrigued with Jimmy Lake than anything. I think what this guy is bringing to the table is something that, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if this defense ever really had. Even, Mike Smith, his defenses that we had back then, those are really good. Even, with Dan Quinn, what he brought to the table, those are good too. But it's just something about what these two coordinators brought in. And then on top of that, what Raheem Morris has already been talking about, I feel that it's just a different feeling. It's a different vibe. It's a different attitude. There's a lot of assertiveness, a lot of confidence, a lot of reassurance. These guys feel like they know what they're doing. That's the vibe I got when I was listening to Raheem Morris on his press conference. Totally different from the first day Arthur Smith walked through the door. Arthur Smith, he probably doesn't mean it, but it's just his whole attitude. He was kind of smug, and then on top of that, he was a little condescending with some of his answers, and then he just spoke. It seemed like he spoke very softly. well, we got to do this, and this is what they're made of, and we got to make sure we make the right plays, and this, that, and the. It didn't sound like somebody who wanted to win. And I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm pretty sure Arthur Smith wanted to win because all things considered, I think he did an okay job. You just missed on the quarterback, bro. If you got the quarterback right, you probably will still be the coach here. But with Raheem Morris, he comes in, he's ready to talk. He's already familiar with the Falcons franchise. But I think that has something to do with it. But everybody's saying that with him, that's who he is. And he was just on point with all of his answers and what he wanted to put together with this team. And the guys who he's bringing in had that same attitude and that same energy. That's what makes me feel like I'm just sold on what we're doing. And now with that being said, let's get to work. It's just going to take so long for, the off season. I mean, it's just going to be crazy to see what, how things play out, because it is really fascinating because you got so many pieces in place. You got so many things going on, and you got all the right personnel in place, and we all know what that one place that we want to take care of. That quarterback, Zach Robinson. Who do you want in the quarterback? Is it really those guys I mentioned earlier? Jerry Lake. I'm getting him mixed up with Jerry Gray. Jimmy Lake. What do you want with your DBs, your defensive back specialists? You and Jerry Gray gonna go in and make things happen. What about that front seven? One thing I did talk about in my last video, Jimmy Lake said something really cool. He said the best way to get your DBs in good positions to be successful is to stop the run. You stop the run, you can get the quarterback to make throws that he don't want to make, because after a while, you don't want a quarterback to be throwing that many times, and we could pin our ears back and get at the quarterback, and we could cause turnovers. I never thought of it that way. I mean, I knew about that philosophy. It makes sense because, the winning football is to be able to run the ball and stop the run. But the way he broke that down and said, you stop the run, then you get your secondary on point. So it's like, whoa, that is a really good way to look at things. And if he keeps that philosophy and he wants a base 3-4, that's going to show some multiples. That just goes to show you, we may want a guy who can be an edge rusher that can get to the quarterback. I don't think we're going to get that D lineman for pass rush. We're probably going to get an edge rusher, a guy who can stand up at the line and get on the end around of those tackles and get at the quarterback. Some, exotic blitzes and stunts, kind of similar what Dean Pease wanted to do. And we should be successful. That's just another reason why I love these coordinators. Offensively, one thing about Zach Robinson, I do like the offensive trees coming from the coaching tree. I love that. But it's kind of like he didn't say much, and I do understand why. You have to understand that he has a big task in front of him, not an obligation. He has a big task in front of him to make sure this offense is on point. If you want to get this offense on point, you're gonna have to get the quarterback right. You have to understand that everybody knows that the Falcons is in play for a quarterback, but you don't want to force your hand to let people know where you're leaning towards or who you want to get, because people could probably try to take advantage of that in the trade or free agency, realm or in that space. Like, oh, they really need a quarterback. They want this quarterback. Well, let's try to let's try to lowball them a little bit because this is what they really want. Or let's try to get a lot out of them if they want to move up because we know what they want. Now, he's trying to keep that close to the chest. So we kind of know what type of offense that they're going to run. Like I said, the Jared Goffs and the Matthew Stafford of the world, we can say all what we want about them. They're still successful. But he did mention something else too. He did say you want a guy who can move around in the pocket as well. So you might want a guy who's a little athletic, but not just trying to run all the time. And it's just kind of keep me speculating, because what Jimmy Lake said, it's kind of out there. You know what you're going to get out of this defense based on what he said. It's kind of similar to what we had already last year, and we made strides. And he said he's going to add on to that and make things better. I can't wait to see that. Zach Robinson, on the other hand, he's kind of handcuffed because we don't have that established quarterback. If we had an established quarterback, we would probably hear more about what this offense is going to be like. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out the next few weeks. You're going to see what's going on with the combine, the draft, free agency, who they're going to pick up. Are they going to try to get anybody to be QB1 right away? Are they going to wait till the draft? It's going to be interesting. But as far as the defense goes, look, we got a lot of pieces right now. We just need to bring back a few guys on free agency, and I would say try to get maybe one or maybe two more guys in that secondary, because we got some pieces. We really do. So it's just gonna be more of an interesting time in the offseason, man. I cannot wait. So if you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Are you all in? What are you guys' thoughts and opinions on what's going on here? I am ecstatic. I love these guys. I think they're going to take us places. I just hope it comes true. I don't care if I'm on cold takes because I'm wrong. From what I see right now, I like what I see, and it is going to be awesome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Check me out on X at VFBaller. The website is firstandframerates.com. If you want to donate to the show, Cash App and PayPal links are below. And I'm going to get up out of here. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Peace.